Welcome to a video from thedigital-lifestyle.com. This video is different than I normally do my Windows 10 build videos. We're looking at Android 7 on a Nexus 6P. It's just been pushed down to my phone via an automatic over-the-air update, and I know it's been around for a while, but this is brand new to me, and it's now going out to Nexus devices. I thought I'd have a quick look at it. So there's a few changes to it. I'm going to concentrate on the visual changes, not the under the hood changes. There's things like better battery life and with auto snoozing the apps and things like that, but I'm not going to look at that. I'm just going to look at some of the sort of the visual changes that we see. And many of the things with Android, like Windows Phone, other app, and Windows 10 Mobile, many of the core apps like Mail and things are split out anyway, so they're not part of the OS. So I'm just going to look at some of the changes. And the first thing really is around notifications, and you see these notification cards that I've just pulled down there. So this is your typical kind of notification. Here's a Twitter notification. See, there's smaller cards now, very flat now, not as Google Now as they were in the previous version. And a new feature in here now is you can also reply directly from there, a bit like you could do in Windows 10 Mobile, and direct replying in notifications. So these notifications now look slightly different. I'll send another one through just so we can test something. Because there's so here a notification come through. I can pull it down like that. One thing I can do now is I can long press on there and I can ask it to block that notification, or just silently, or actually don't block, as I currently want to do now. So you've got more control over and quick control over those settings, and that takes you back to Twitter settings. So you can see you've got a bit more control over the way that notifications come through just on a simple app level. You can block notifications, everything in the settings you could before, but now you can do it through there. And you'll see that it also tells you that was 22 minutes ago from the Google app. That's the weather. And so this shows you when it was sent and so on. So that's slightly different as well. It's also got a clear all as well, which is something which I think is new, which again Windows Phone had it, and you can quickly clear them off. As you may notice as well, this notification shade has changed. So you've now got sort of the quick shortcuts that you need. So I've got Wi-Fi, battery, signal strength, and there's the Do Not Disturb and the flashlight one. So you've got quick access to them, again, not unlike Windows 10 Mobile. And I can bring them down, and I can see some other ones. It's got 2 pages of them. But I can edit these, and I can say the one I use most, hotspot, let's have that there. And that should mean now, when I collapse those, there's the hotspot one on there. So you've got that control over how they look, which I actually quite like, and I think it reminds me very much of Windows 10 Mobile, and you've got that fast access. Another new feature is split screen. So let me open a couple of apps. Let's open Gmail, and then I hold down the split screen button, long pressing, and you can see now I've got Gmail there, and let's have those settings there. So see, you've got split screen. It actually works better when you have it, I think, in landscape mode like this. So you've got full control. You can alter the split point. This reminds me of Windows 8.1. Not all apps work with it. Long press to take it off again. So if I find an app that maybe doesn't work, there's Outlook, and it says this may not work in split screen, but actually it does. There are some which definitely don't work. Let me find one that doesn't. Oh, there you go. I think AccuWeather doesn't. Oh, there you go. It does. I just quick tap, and I can find. I think this one didn't. So this one didn't. So it just takes you right back to the single app view. But it's quite a nice little feature, that. So you just let's go out of this app. You sort of press and hold. Let's go back to Gmail. Press and hold. But I like the split screen on there. I think it could be quite useful, like I said, especially in modes in landscape mode. So there's that quick switch. There you go. There's a triple tap to switch between applications. Not the most obvious action, but it does work triple tap, and I think this actually works in full screen mode as well. It does. So it's a way of going back to your previous used app rather than having to go through the list. And you go to Do Not Disturb. That's, I think, had a couple of extra tweaks and changes. This is a setting I quite use. Like for overnight, you can now put this on for an hour or to turn it off or whatever. So I think that's quite nice. That was in the previous version, Android 6, and I use that all the time to stop getting Twitter alerts, things like that at night. But I think this screen's had a bit of an overhaul. In fact, many of the screens have. If I go into the general settings on, you'll see you've got sort of suggestions on there. As you go through it, rather than just saying Wi-Fi, it shows the access point you're connected to or the amount of data that you're currently using. When you go to apps, it shows you the number of apps and so on. So I think that's a bit of an improvement. So I can turn off Do Not Disturb like that from the quick action, which I quite like. Go to I can turn Wi-Fi on and off like that as well. Tap on the battery and it takes you to this new battery option, and you can go into sort of more settings back to the original screen where it shows you the apps and the usage. So I quite like this updated settings screen. These actions are nice and quick. I like the new notification style. I think that looks pretty good. I like the flat style. Other things like Google Now, the launcher, the app drawers, that's all the same. Like I said, it's really about the sort of the core operating system that's changed. There's a massive amount on the HUD that I haven't talked about, and there's some good articles on many of the Android sites. I just wanted to give you a quick look at the UI changes on here. So that's my very quick look at some of the UI changes to this Android 7.0, which has just rolled out, so my Nexus 6P. That's one of the reasons why I like a Nexus, is that you get the latest version of the operating system. So thanks for watching this video, and you can find more on our YouTube channel.